For those who remember, for those who will never forget, and for those who will experience the Star Trek adventure for the very first time. The Star Trek Hexology. Six timeless adventures that have changed Star Trek forever. Now, all 6 films remastered in glorious HD for the ultimate in sound and picture quality. This will be your last chance to own a physical copy of Star Trek. The Gene Roddenberry creation that launched the Star Trek franchise. The human adventure has just begun. For all generations. The original Star Trek films on sale one last time. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Chillporeal. I don't have the typical intro because of, well, issues with Adobe, but nonetheless, we have a show, and I want to introduce for the first time on the Nerdporeal network, or the Nerdporeal continuum, scifimombie. April, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, I'm it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. You know, if this was the 90s, I'd be just finishing up TGIF on ABC.
Yep.
So
definitely.
It's funny is that one of these days I do want to make a video about a retrospective based on watching that that time slot for years. So
good TV times, definitely. I miss those shows.
Yeah, I watched that I used to watch weekly, and believe it or not, when I was 6th or 7th grade, I started watching Voyager on UPN here in Chicago, and that was pretty much the first time I ever watched a show from week to week, just religiously. So, but yeah. So I figure, I introduce you. So scifimombie, where did that name come from?
So it's kind of threefold. To start, my sister and I call her Big Red so that I don't dox her. We had a show, and it was 2 mic'd up mombies. It kind of lasted for a month, and then I'm live. I'm talking. I
had my friend once. He had his kids there, and his kids are like, "Hey, Uncle Brian," and I'm just like, "It's fine. I'm cool with that."
They're lovely. Yeah. Well, co-host Vic lives across town with my ex-husband, so it's just me and Autumn, the producer now, and our kitties. So, but my sister and I both have sleep disorders, and so we feel like moms who are zombies. So we kind of just cut it up to zombie. And then in Return to Oz, in the Oz books, there's a witch by the name of Mombie. And I'm not like her, but I just like the name and the different things that she would do. And then Carrie Fisher, which is right over here.
I see.
She is one of my favorite actresses. And when she had Billie Lourd,
her daughter, yeah.
She had her call her Mombie.
Interesting.
And it just stuck with us. My sister and I both are big fans of Carrie, so we miss her dearly.
Yeah, Nimoy was one that hit me. Robin Williams was one that hit me. Hers hit me too, and I thought about that dog that she had. Because she always carried, especially the last couple of years, she always carried around that comfort dog. I think Gary was the name she gave him, and so she's gone. I mean, it was awful. Like, this was right after Rogue One came out. All of a sudden, we hear she had a heart attack on the plane, and they had to land, and they couldn't revive her in time. So
Yeah, there wasn't a doctor on board. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, she was same age as my dad. So yeah, she was yeah, she was 60. So it's a shame.
Yeah.
So but before that, we're gonna say hello to people in the chat. We have John the Beagle Dad says, I am looking forward to this, and I don't care how late it is. And then we have a Mombie fan. Well, I'm not going to assume the gender. Fan person FKHC 2005 says, "Hail Mombie," not Hail Nerd.
Otherwise known as Tim. Yep, that's Tim.
Okay. And then we have my friend Gadfly Fiction. We have, oh my God, it's Zax. What's up, Zax?
Hey, Zax. Hello,
and we
Gadfly Fiction. Yeah.
And we have Dempsey, the drunken poet himself.
Hi, Dempsey.
So
I laugh at people's handles and stuff, especially over on TikTok. They're hilarious. So
yeah, I came up with Nerporial because of well, I may or may not like a series called Star Trek or something. And I used to have it's a show about about people that work in space, and there's an elf guy named Mr. Spock. So
oh, you mean this guy right here?
That guy, the one that Sir Mr. Shatner was jealous of for stealing his thunder and everything. So but the name Nerporial is a play on the word corporeal. And I was thinking about the fun times when I was a kid. So I, thanks to my dad's influence, I started getting interested in the original series as a kid, and I would start collecting the tapes, the VHS tapes that came out. And I got a few for Christmas, and I just really enjoyed the show. I liked the music. I liked how colorful the sets were, how cheesy it was. And it was so different from anything I've seen, anything that was, out in the 90s. So I took a real big liking to it. And I just kept getting more and more interested in the franchise. And I eventually got a couple of books from the 90s. There was one called the Star Trek Chronology, and there was one called the Star Trek Encyclopedia. And I used to, when I was, when I didn't have friends growing up. So I was at home either playing Nintendo games or watching Star Trek or reading my nerdy books that I actually still have my copy of the Star Trek Encyclopedia.
Nerdy books.
Star Trek novel, Vonda. I have.
I used to have the whole original series set, and my ex-husband sold them at a garage sale without my permission.
Well, what the VHSs?
Yeah, like I guess
the blue ones, or the 80s ones, the ones that were like a purple and
the pocketbooks. I was collecting all of them since a teenager. My mom was big into like going to the used bookstore. And the one we went to, he was always getting in a new collection from somebody of all the original series books. So then I just started collecting them all. But yeah, I didn't bring them in the house and marked them do not sell. And it had my TNG tapes in the box. It had my gold foil Deep Space Nine #1 comic that my dad bought me in the box. So I lost so much.
Did you watch Deep Space Nine when it came out?
I did. Yeah, that was my jam. See, what night was that on? Was it Wednesdays or was it Thursdays?
Because here, I don't know how it was where you were, but here in Chicago, it was instead of it being on channel UPN, which was like a independent station here, channel 50. That one was actually on WGN. It was on a different. Deep Space Nine was on WGN. It was Channel 9. The same station that plays all the Cubs games.
Here it was.
The Clown.
I'm in Springfield, Missouri, which I'm actually your neighbor.
Oh, okay. You're a good 6-7 hours away.
Yep. It aired on our Fox station, KDEB.
Okay.
And in the afternoons, TNG was my jam after junior high and high school. It aired on our ABC affiliate in the
Okay.
afternoon.
Okay.
So that was totally awesome.
All right. Yeah, all the other Star Trek shows, beside with the exception of Deep Space Nine, were all on that same Channel 50 here. So so TNG was the first Star Trek that I knew existed. So I always thought that was Star Trek. And then all of a sudden there's a movie that my dad was watching on HBO. This was 1990, and there was this funny looking guy with pointed ears, and there's this grouchy guy always arguing with the pointed ear guy, and then there's the other guy that the pointed ear guy calls Captain. And I'm like, what is this, Dad? He's like, this is Star Trek. I'm like, what? This is not Star Trek. Where's the bald dude? Where's the pale golden eyed dude? He's like, that's different. He's like, that's different. This is what I grew up with. I was like, I'm like, really? So, and then I watched, and I actually, as a kid, because I honestly thought Next Generation was, well, I was a kid. I was 4 or 5 when it was on. It was boring. It was boring. But I was like a little kid. What did I know? It was boring. They're just talking. And you see space in the background. But then you see this wacky looking, but in this movie, you see this wacky looking, pointed ear guy, and he's wearing these weird boots, and he's flying up the shaft, and they're all singing, row, row, row your boat.
Star Trek 5.
Star Trek 5, the one that everybody hates.
Yeah,
is the one
that
I liked as a little kid. And I still have like rose colored glasses. Like, I know why people don't like it. And especially compared to all the other movies, like, let's say this one that I recently just got a painting from in Portland. Painting. But yeah, I love Star Trek 5. It's my least favorite of the original 6, but I will always own it. I will always revisit and watch it because I think it's a great movie. Because I like the character. I like the Kirk, Spock, and McCoy stuff.
I like the triad and their friendship. You could just tell that it kept growing stronger and stronger the more that they served together.
I think that triad's the reason why Star Trek is a franchise, and that's what I think. And I mean, of course, you had other great actors in the later show, especially TNG. You have frickin' Patrick Stewart as Captain Picard, one of the greatest performances of all time. And then you had some other great actors. I think Brent Spiner was great as Data, and Marina Sirtis is always she's always looking good.
And it was always funny because all my friends, we would get together and talk about TNG the next day. And they're like, why does Troy always have to be the intergalactic cheerleader? I'm like, I think she's awesome. Stop calling her that.
What's funny was I heard that it was her that didn't want to be in that outfit. So she always wore that like single outfit for like the first like 6 seasons, and then you get to the episode with the 2-parter with Captain Jellicoe.
Yeah, Jellicoe.
And he's like, I prefer that you wear a standard uniform. And then she's just like, oh, okay. But then I heard it was actually Marina Sirtis's idea to do that. So so it seems ironic because you think that the actress didn't want to do it, but they all hated. One thing I noticed is that they all hated wearing those tight outfits, especially the first couple of seasons. That's why they got like nice, more loose, outfits in season 3. But yeah, that was once the DVDs came out was when I was able to own the shows and watch all the different shows in their entirety. So like for my case, I started collecting original series tapes when I was in 6th grade. My dad would buy some for me if I made the honor roll or something in school. So I had an incentive to do good in school. And I was collecting, I think I collected up to 50 out of the 79 episodes, the 79 tapes that they had. I managed to collect up to 50.
Now, was that through not Hamilton? It wasn't Random House either. I'm trying to remember because I bought the TNG tapes from, it wasn't the Bradford Exchange, maybe it was. But you know, I only got up to like the end of season 1, and then I just couldn't afford to buy them anymore. So.
Yeah, we used to have a Suncoast Video here at the mall, and that used to sell the episodes one by one on tape for like
Mm-hmm.
$14 to $16. Um, they were like the blue. It was the blue VHS tape that I think they issued in the 90s. So you had
Okay.
like, you had the new Paramount. You had the new Paramount logo, the 90s, late 80s, early 90s logo. And yeah, I would have to get I would have to rewind those tapes every time if I wanted to watch them. So
Yeah.
I used to it was the first time, because from my experience, every time I've owned tapes and all that, the boxes would the case for the tape was cardboard, and they would always end up on the floor, and someone would either step on it or sit on it, and once that happens, the box is ruined.
Mm-hmm.
There's damage on the side. You can't undo it. So I was very meticulous on how I handled my Star Trek VHSs, to the
Mm-hmm.
point where they've managed to stay smooth on the sides. I had like Larry David, I had a system. I take the tape out of the box. I'd leave the box on top of the VCR. I put the tape in,
Mm-hmm.
or I put the tape in the rewinder, rewind it, because the VCRs, the rewinders never worked
Mm-hmm.
on the later VCR. So we
That
always had
is
to have a
so true.
separate rewinder device to do that. And then I'd take the tape out and put the tape in the VCR, and I'd watch the episode.
Yep, exactly. And it amazes me how fast those rewinders, died in our VHS machines. But my kids, now my oldest son, he'll be 25. He is collecting stuff actually on VHS, and I'm really surprised by this generation because they've also found cassette tapes. I'm so shocked. I thought them liking vinyl was weird, but now that they're looking for old cassette tapes.
People my age, I think that the whole vinyl thing really started. I started noticing, like, people in college, when I was in college in the 2000s, people were collecting vinyls then. And,
Mm-hmm.
despite the fact that we had CDs and iPods were a new thing. I had friends in my fraternity that collected vinyl, like they collected like Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin vinyl. So yeah, so it's been a thing for a while. So
Yeah,
so
I
I'm
got
not surprised.
my mom sold my Thriller, but I finally got my first vinyl in a long time.
Oh, Seth
And I actually
MacFarlane.
got it. I went to Vegas this summer to see him, and it's actually signed. He signed it. But
So
yeah, he actually sold blue ones, but we got the black.
so does he compose his own music, or does he
Mm-mm.
does he mainly cover, like, Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, all those guys?
Well, before this, he covered a lot of different like show tunes and Sinatra and others like Mancini. But he recently, with the permission of the Sinatra kids, bought the library, the archive.
Mm-hmm.
And so I believe it's going to be like a 4 album type thing where he's going to go through all that music. And he and Joel McNeely, who did the
The Orville.
Orville theme, um, they're
Da,
going through
da,
and
da, da.
recomposing things, and he's pulling out his favorite Sinatra songs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I
That
forget
was
how
a
many times.
multi-million-dollar investment. Yeah.
How many times did he perform like that in the? I'm trying to remember if he performed like that in the Orville, didn't he? In a few episodes,
No, and here's the
he did
deal.
not.
No. This is how humble Seth is. He wanted everybody else who had singing talent to perform more than himself. So we've been sitting there on Thursday nights and we're like, you know what? Seth needs to become like Fontaine on Deep Space
Deep
Nine.
Space Nine, yeah.
So we're like, he either age himself up or just put on that really nice suit and be the voice of whatever and sing on the damn show. It's time,
Yeah, yeah. I got a question
Now, if
for
he's
you.
listening, that would be fantastic, but I highly doubt it.
I got a question for you since we're kind of on the Orville now. Um, do you think the Orville has a future? Because it's been 3 years since New Horizons came out, and the final episode of that season felt like a series finale. I mean,
I know.
they still obviously left stuff open, like Talea's in captivity. You still have the Mocklins and the Krill are still
Hmm.
like they're still the bad guys. The Kalon now are the good guys. I thought that was an odd choice to make, but oh well.
Well, I think the Kalon are more your frenemy. You know, the enemy of my friend. What is the saying? You know,
The
you
end of
keep
the
your
the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
exactly, yeah, and you keep your uh,
I was kind of expecting
friends
them to be
close, but you
like
keep your enemies closer, or something like that. Yeah.
yeah, but I was expecting them to be like a combination of like the Borg and the Dominion,
Hmm.
like like they not only manipulate, but they're like they're the existential threat.
Hmm.
So
And
I
it's
thought it
turned
was
out to be the Krill. Well, at least the radicalized Krill and the Mocklins.
yeah,
Yeah.
it would have been more interesting had they broken off like you have the more like you said the radicalized Krill, and then you have like another sect of Krill, and
Hmm.
then they would be like that. They would be a faction. The Kalon would still be the evil. Would still be um, the existential threat that threatens everybody because they want to wipe out organics.
Hmm.
Um, and then of course you have the Krill. You have the Krill, you have the female Mocklins, and of course you have the rest of the Union
Hmm.
would be the other faction. That's what I was hoping to see. But I don't know.
Well, there's
They
still plenty of time. I mean, speaking of how long it's been off the air, um, Pretty Little Liars has been off longer. And they just got a new producer, and HBO has greenlit them to come back.
oh
That was
really?
2019.
Okay.
So, and Peter Macon was at Dragon Con in Atlanta. What was it, a couple weeks ago? And he said he's been in contact with Seth, and Seth says he's got like 5 to 6 scripts ready to go, including Sympathy for the Devil. And he's ready to go. I have a feeling he's got more than that,
The
sitting in
sympathy,
a vault, ready to go.
if I remember correctly, sympathy for the devil is basically their like their in between. Like I think they made like it was a comic, and it was supposed to
Well, it
take place
was
in between two and New
it's a
Horizons.
novella. What was supposed to happen, it was supposed to be like a 2 to 3 part episode for season 3,
Yeah.
and Hulu wouldn't greenlight it. And so Seth just said, you know what? I'll just write it in a novella and I'll release it that way.
Okay. What was that?
Awesome writing.
What was
Awesome
that?
writing.
What was that about? Because I didn't read it.
Oh, you've got to read it. And if you get the audio version,
Mhm.
Bruce Boxleitner actually reads it.
Oh, does he play the same role? He plays the
Mm-hmm.
union president.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, wait, I was like, why does he sound familiar? And then I realized it was him.
Mm-hmm.
It was him, Bruce Boxleitner from Babylon 5, Captain Sheridan,
He's
and
so
of course,
awesome.
I forget what his character's
Scarecrow
name
and
in
Mrs.
Tron.
King. Yeah.
I just and I,
Tron.
yeah, I just bought I spent a lot of money, but I bought the steel box of Tron and Tron
Oh,
Legacy. So
nice.
I'm still I even though I wasn't even alive when the original Tron came out. I was born '84. I prefer that movie over Legacy. I saw Legacy for the first time a few months ago. I have a friend in Japan. It's one of his favorite movies. He told me
Mm-hmm.
I can't be friends with you if you didn't see if you didn't see Tron Legacy. So I watched Tron Legacy because I remember it got like bad reviews back in when it came out.
Oh, I don't pay attention to reviews anymore. Um,
Yes, same
because
here.
if it's any good, it always gets a bad review.
Yeah. And I thought it was just one of those movies that did not. I thought it was one of those movies that just didn't live up to it. And I'm watching. I'm like, despite the criticisms, there were some actually really powerful moments because
Mm-hmm.
it's about a son looking for his father,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought it was a wonderful. I There were some really wonderful moments in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I still prefer the original look of Tron though. I like the cheesy animation. I like the old
Hmm.
computer look, and I like the blue. I just like the color and all that. So whereas Legacy looks more like the Matrix, I guess you could
Typical
say, kind of
CGI we see all the time.
more
Yeah.
cyberpunky than
Hmm.
the original. But that's just me. So
Yeah.
yeah. So Dempsey's with me. Dempsey agrees. So
Yeah. But I mean, I think the thing, and Stony Girl and I don't know if you know who Stony Girl is, but we were talking about it the other day about how long the Orville's been off. And for one, I want David A. Goodman and David Cabiza and Michael. I never say his last name right, but I want more comics because we've been reading them actually in between seasons, like you're supposed to, how it says.
yeah.
And we just have a good time, and we think there's so much more that they could use. You know, ideas that couldn't be made into shows that they could put into the comics.
Yeah. What was that book that you just showed?
This is the library edition of the Orville. This is all of the Orville comics that are out right now. It's volume 1, so that tells us a lot.
Okay.
It's volume 1. But like the last one we just read was called Digressions, and it's the in between of Tomorrow, Tomorrow, and Tomorrow, and The Road Not Taken of season
Okay.
2.
At the end. Okay.
And
All
it,
right.
it links them very well because you're kind of trying to figure out, okay, why has Kelly got this really weird ship, and it just explains it so much better.
Okay. All right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is watching those episodes in particular, especially the alternate reality.
Hmm.
It felt Voyager. It just felt
It
so
did.
Voyager
Hmm.
right there. But then watching, like, like they had the base. The base reminded me of like the Yavin base,
Hmm.
and but with the Kalon, chasing them. So it was very Star Wars. It was very Star
Hmm.
Wars / Empire Strikes Back. And so I was like, okay, we're probably going to see more Star Wars influence in the new season of the Orville. And not only was I right, they had a
Hmm.
trench run. That their penultimate episode was a trench run on a planet and
Hmm.
everything. So, um, what
And
did
you can see where Seth and the crew get all of their sci-fi inspiration. There's even some other shows that he kind of throws in there. But you see the
yeah,
Star Wars, see Star Trek, Babylon 5, you see Stargate. Like when they're walking through um uh the Moclan female camp, you
yeah.
see the gates, and you're going,
Hmm.
oh, okay.
I haven't
So,
seen Stargate. I haven't
oh
seen
God, I
SG
love
One.
Stargate. I want more Stargate. Yeah,
So
you're gonna
so
love it.
so sci-fi shows that I have on my list that I have to watch. I just haven't really. I'm trying to figure out. There's so many shows and everything's available now, so I can watch whatever I
Mhm.
want. So that makes it even harder to choose. But
I
like,
know.
I know, like well, V the series is one I want to see from 1983. Stargate SG1. Everybody's talked about that. Um,
Atlantis is good. Universe is good. But of course, start with the original movie with Kurt Russell and
okay,
James. Darn it, I always forget
James
his name.
Spader.
Yes,
James
thank you.
Spader.
Yeah, always start with that.
Okay. And of course, there is one show I've only seen a handful of episodes because it was on every Sunday night on Fox, and that's the X Files. That's another
Oh,
show I need to actually watch
my
in
favorite.
its entirety.
Yeah, that's one of my jams. I love X Files. It's just that creepy sci-fi, mysterious stuff that Chris Carter just kind of threw it all in there with the paranormal and extraterrestrial life, and you're going, yes. So,
Yeah, I was just watching like Silence of the Lambs the other day, and I was just
mhm.
thinking like, what other good FBI stuff? What other good FBI entertainment's out there? And I was thinking, well, X Files. You have Mulder. Mulder. The truth is out there. I
Mhm.
think wasn't he abducted by aliens? His
No,
character,
his sister
his
was. He's
sister
trying to
was.
find out what happened to his sister.
And
Yeah.
then you have Scully, who is the skeptic who doesn't believe any
Mhm.
of this, and they pair them together, and that brings interesting writing and interesting storytelling and all that. So, um,
and the
I
conspiracy underneath it all, and that our government's been a part of it all along. And like, we just had the UFO files released lately, and
yeah.
it's kind of true.
So I've always, I mean, even though I've haven't watched the show in its entirety, like, I'm familiar with, like, there's the cigarette smoking man's a
Mm-hmm.
character. I saw the movie when I was a kid. I saw the 1998 X-Files movie.
Mm-hmm.
I forget how that ties in with the show, but I just remembered seeing the movie in the theaters with my mom and all that. So I know didn't they make another movie like not too long ago,
Mm-hmm.
like in the like,
I Want to Believe, I believe is what it's called.
and that came out after the show ended.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And then
because
I know
the fans were demanding it. Yeah.
okay, and then I know they brought
Mm-hmm.
the show back for like another couple seasons, like in 2015, I think, or
And
2016.
we wanted more. And David Duchovny's like, guys, I'm sorry, I got to move on. And
So
Gillian Anderson was kind of the same way, but they keep talking about, hey, we'll do another revival. Let's do another limited series. And I don't know if Fox is going
so
to sign off.
was there okay, so my question of that is, was there stuff that was not wrapped up in the original series that they made that season 10 and 11, or did they just basically come up with new stories?
Well, from what I remember, I haven't seen it in a while, but I thought it ended with um, like alien craft over their cars, leaving it open. I thought that's where it ended.
Oh, okay.
So of course, they always leave everything open, and you're going, oh, don't leave me hanging. Yeah.
I'll have to. I think maybe because it's been a while since I've used Hulu and all that. Everything's on like Disney Plus now. Like Orville's on Disney Plus, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure X Files is now. So I'll have to find the pilot. I watched the pilot years ago. I'll have to
Mm-hmm.
watch the pilot again.
And
And
get ready, because Hulu is about to become a tile on Disney Plus beginning, I think it's January or February of next year. So they're going to shut down Hulu's app and all that. And I'm going, what are you going to do with Hulu Live? Wait a minute. But yeah, it's supposed to become a tile on Disney Plus. I don't know how that's going to work.
a
I don't think
tile.
they're thinking.
Okay. Yeah. So it's just gonna be like part of Disney Plus basically.
Mm-hmm.
You
So,
just
like when
click
you
on
log
it, it'll have its
in,
own content.
yeah, when you're on like the main page and you log in, and then there's the tiles like Star Wars, MCU.
Yeah.
Hulu's
Oh
going to be
yeah.
one of those tiles. Yeah. Dumb. I just think it's a
Yeah.
dumb
I agree.
idea. So they
So
don't
so
listen to
so
us.
so is it basically up to Disney if they wanted to renew the Orville now, pretty much?
Yes, and I kind of talked to a Stony girl about this. She blames Seth. I blame Disney. Um, Seth's a perfectionist, and if he doesn't get his way, it's his way or the highway. And I think that's why he's stalling, or they're stalling, because they can't agree on a budget.
Oh, I see.
And Seth finished. So the end of season 3, they ran out of budget for the CGI. So
Mhm.
Seth paid for it out of his pocket.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
And
what episode did they run out of the budget for?
it was several.
Oh.
I think it was like the last 3. And he just paid.
Oh, yeah, that second to last episode was heavy. Was
Mm-hmm.
like you had like thousands of ships. It was like you had the planet, or you had that weapon,
Mm-hmm.
that super weapon that they were going to use
That
to
destroys the
deactivate all the
Kalon.
Kalon and all
Yeah.
that.
That weapon
Um,
is kick ass.
that was a really yeah, that was a really yeah, that was a really crazy
Too bad it doesn't work on
CGI.
Mocklins and Krill. Oh,
Yeah. But yeah, there
I'm
was there
evil.
was like
Sorry.
ship
Mm-hmm.
all over the screen and all that. So
And
yeah, that was a
the
lot of
Kalon
those.
themselves, it destroyed their robot bodies as well.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Um, so I figure, yeah. So like, I felt I really enjoyed the Orville. Um, I wasn't the biggest fan of the third season, but I already had that discussion with Orville Nation and all that. So,
Mm-hmm.
but there were a lot of things I did like about the Orville. Season 2 was my favorite season of the
Mm-hmm.
Orville. Identity parts 1 and 2 are my
Mm-hmm.
favorite episodes. Like I literally like I was like on the edge of my seat. My eyes were glued to the screen. And
Mm-hmm.
I watched them both together because I was late. I was kind of behind. So there were both episodes. I was watching part 1. I was like, oh crap, I gotta watch part 2 now and
Yeah.
everything. And part 2 is like I was not expecting part 2 to be so crazy. Like it
Mm-hmm.
just like first they get the ship back, but there's still the fleet, and then there's a fleet battle. Like holy crap, there's a fleet battle.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just it just got so wild that I got really heavily invested after that.
Mm-hmm.
But at the
What
same
I
time,
what I loved was when I've been there since the beginning, when it first aired in 2017, because I'm a Family Guy and an American Dad fan.
okay.
And when it said, hey, from the creator of Seth MacFarlane, I'm going, yes, comedy in space. I'm a huge comedy fan as well. Um, and so I loved that first season because it had, the slapstick comedy that I love plus sci-fi. That's why I love Lower Decks so much, because it's that, it's that wacky, zany stuff in space that just makes me laugh. And then season 2 got a little bit more serious, but it still had that right balance of comedy. And then season 3, I don't know what happened. I don't know if he just had so much on his mind because of the pandemic. A lot of that was written during the pandemic and filmed. That he just had some serious social issues he wanted to get out, but what we love about it, and the panel and I've talked about it, is that he puts the topic out there, but he doesn't tell you how to feel about it. He wants you to
Yes.
form your own opinion about it. And that's what I love about Seth's writing, along with, Brennan Branagh and Andre Borman,
Bormanis.
right? And David A. Goodman. They write with Seth, and you make your own opinion. They don't tell you how to think.
Yeah, and that was the magic of Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
Um
Until Secret
Discovery.
Hideout.
Yeah, until Secret Hideout and
Until Secret
Discovery.
Hideout. Yeah.
So you said you liked Lower Decks.
Oh God, I love Lower Decks.
I watched a few episodes of Lower Decks. I watched like the Deep Space Nine one. I
Mm-hmm.
liked the Deep Space. I didn't like any of the stuff with Mariner. I don't like her character at all. But I liked all the like. It was fun seeing Quark again, and
Mm-hmm.
I think what Colonel Kara.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was only the. It was funny is it's only those two are the only ones left on Deep Space Nine after
I
the show.
know.
Everybody left. Cisco's in the Celestial Temple.
Worf
Uh,
left. Yeah.
Worf left to become an ambassador, or to become an ambassador only to be back on the Enterprise in Star Trek
Mm-hmm.
Nemesis. And,
And I mean, he left because Jadzia died,
yeah,
and the Dax that replaced her, it wasn't the
Esri.
same. Yeah,
Yeah, I think
for him it wasn't the same.
she
Yeah,
ended up falling with Bashir or something. I think Bashir.
hmm
I forget, did Bashir leave
I think he
the
did, or did
station?
he? He didn't die, did he?
No.
Maybe I'm thinking of Babylon 5. There are so many cast members from Babylon 5 that have passed on.
Yeah, Babel.
It's
Oh,
crazy. Like we don't have Renee Aberjonis anymore. I can't believe that. That one's hard for me because
we don't.
Odo's not
Oh
here
yeah, we
anymore.
he's not
Yeah.
with us. Aaron Eisenberg,
Mm-hmm.
Nog, he's not with us
Yeah.
anymore. I think of the Deep Space Nine, Star Trek has really been good. Has been good for
Mm-hmm.
the actors, because most of with the exception of like the two that I mentioned, I think everyone else is still with us.
Mm-hmm. And
Um,
Jerry, some of the writers, Jerry Taylor passed away last year, this year.
oh yeah, that's
Um,
right.
that one was, I loved her writing style. She just knew how to write Star Trek.
She was if I remember correctly, she was the showrunner of
Mm-hmm.
TNG the final season.
Mm-hmm.
And I think all the like Ronald D. Moore and and Renee Echevarria,
Hmm.
and
You want some good model?
I think they kind of they saw they at least they joke about it and they say like she was kind of like the mother, she was like the mother figure because she was because she was in charge of them and all that.
And
So
they were such a well-oiled, well put together group of writers. And it showed as they moved on to Voyager and Deep Space Nine, and during that whole Bergman, timeline of Star Trek, you could just see the camaraderie and how much they loved to write it. I was going to say something and I lost my train of thought. Getting older.
How'd you feel about season 3 of Picard?
Oh, Picard.
That was the one that everybody liked. That's the one that people were saying this is better than the TNG movies and all that.
Yeah, and I've talked to Admiral Teague about this, especially about Generations. I'm like, no, man, that's your opinion. No, those are the movies I remember most because I was a teenager and in high school, and that's what we went to see.
Generations.
Yeah, Generations, First Contact, Insurrection, Nemesis. Though, I don't know. I'm still kind of
Nemesis was Wrath
Nemesis.
of Khan Light.
Yeah,
it was Wrath of Khan Light with some very gruesome.
Tom Hardy's
gruesome
awesome.
Scene.
Don't get me wrong. Tom Hardy's a great actor, and he really tried to play Picard well, but he wasn't really Picard.
No, it's like if you were me, you would be doing the same thing.
And
like, if you ever touch me again,
I'll kill you.
I'll be honest. He was a better villain than I mean, I hate to. I don't think Amanda Plummer's a bad actress. I think she was great in Pulp Fiction. If anyone you effing bricks move, I'll kill every ass. She could play good. I think she could. I think she's a
father too.
Oh, Christopher
her father too. Oh yeah.
Cry havoc or let's slip the dogs of war.
That's right. Oh man, one of the best actors. Oh, I miss him.
I think that might have been like, with the exception of the Klingon makeup, I think he was having the best time of his life.
Oh
just being a villain and just reciting Shakespeare because that's his jam and all that. I mean, Mr. Shatner was his understudy in the 50s. So,
very cool.
So
the last season of Picard was the best.
I agree.
It just made me want more TNG, and that's and that's what the other thing I like about Lower Decks and Jonathan Frakes directing the Orville.
That's right.
We get snippets like Marina Sirtis is now the teacher on board the Orville, but she needs a name.
I forget.
She doesn't have a name.
Oh, she doesn't.
No.
I forget why was she on board? Like, I forget. Like, didn't like the teacher was a dude, and like
Cassius was dating Kelly. They broke up, and
then he decides to leave because of the fact that they broke up. Okay.
Right. He left. And so she became the teacher on board, but she doesn't have a name, and we want to see more of her.
I think, and she wasn't even in season 3, so she was gone. She was gone by then. So, yeah, I think wasn't she in the episode? What was remember the episode with the orange juice bomb alien chick? Like she was bleeding orange juice, and the orange juice was actually if it makes contact with oxygen, it's extremely explosive
because they don't have nitrogen in their atmosphere to neutralize their blood. Yeah, that was Blood of Patriots. That's the one I've actually written my fan fiction off of, from a quote at the end of the show. So yeah, I always remember that one because of what Ed and Gordon say to each other about their friendship, because with his old friend coming back in and all the history because Oren and Gordon went from like preschool to Union Point together and then served at the same outpost together. So it was Ed came in at Union Point where he and Gordon became friends.
Yeah, and because of that, and because of how his friend changed, because I think wasn't he like a POW or something? So
20 years of being beaten and abused by the krill it can drive you crazy.
And it went to the point where he was just begging him not to, begging him not to, go on that suicide mission.
And he did
And
it anyways.
he did anyways, and it was heartbreaking. So, um, and I'll just say, I mean that's why I mean it's that type of stuff that makes the Orville better to watch than anything Secret Hideout.
I know.
Out, so.
I like Discovery. I like Discovery until season 3, and then season 4 and 5 were just. I liked some of it, but not all of it.
Once I saw season 2 and how out of touch it was, like they're trying to tell me that this is in the 23rd century. I'm like, this doesn't match up with the original series at all. And that's kind of when I was like, okay, I'm out. Like, I don't know what all this was. There was like a billion drones and there was like a billion shuttlecraft coming out of those 2 starships. I'm like, what is this? I'm like, what is this? And then
the Red Angel, that was a very bizarre. Yeah, that's great that it's her mom, but it doesn't really make sense.
No, it didn't. And then I even went further. I gave another chance with Strange New Worlds. They're like, you know what? Everybody liked, Anson Mount as Pike, and we're gonna make the show that Gene Roddenberry never did. We're gonna make a Pike show with the Enterprise after the Cage, but before the original series. And I was like, okay, maybe they can do it right. I didn't hate the episode where they went back to Talos 4 in Discovery. So I was like, okay, I'll watch this. And I'm watching it and I'm like, where's this character? Where's that character? Why are these characters on board? This doesn't match continuity. And then I'm looking.
It's not technically canon, according to Alex Kurtzman.
Oh, it's not? Okay. All right. Okay, then that's a good thing.
Kind of when you're watching it, kind of have that in the back of your mind.
But at least it doesn't match up with the original series at all. I mean,
it's like
they brought in Trelane and Roger Corby, and nobody in the show knew them when they were first shown in the original series.
It's like they brought in Noonien Singh family member.
Laan. Her name is Laan.
Yeah. And
I hate my ancestor because he was I'm like, shut up. I was like, shut up.
I mean, we know that
you're mean to Spock. Go away. We don't like
we know that he was alive in Enterprise. We knew that.
Yeah.
Because he tried to take over the Enterprise.
Who?
But Data's creator.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Dr. Eric Soong. That was a good one. You're talking about not the remnants. They're not the remnants. But the Supermen.
Right.
And they 3-parter. Yeah, that was wild. That was a wild 3-parter. Like they just all offed each other.
Yeah.
They just all offed each other. Like it was. Oh, and the leader wasn't Khan, but he was Alec Newman from the Dune. He plays Paul Atreides in the sci-fi Dune series. I was like, okay, that's where I'm like, now I know where I've seen him before.
I'm like, they're trying to piece together Khan and how it's related to down the hereditary line, and I'm going, guys, really, do we have to backtrack on this? If you're going to do anything, take the Genesis wave and the Eugenics War books and make them episodes. Take that great writing we already have and put it to good use,
Yeah. I liked season 4 a lot. I don't know how you felt about Enterprise season 4. Now, I don't include the finale, but I liked all the arcs that were in season 4. So I liked there was the 3-parter on Vulcan. There was the 2-parter. There was the 3-parter with the augments. The augments, that's what they're called. The augments. There's a two-parter that explains why the Klingons look the way they
The
do
way they
in the
do.
original series. Hey, I'll give credit where credit's due. At least they try to
Yeah, they tried
they
to
tried
tell
to
us
line
about
it
the
up.
genetic engineering.
But you can't explain why Core John Colicos doesn't have head makeup, and then he
Mhm.
has head makeup in Deep Space Nine. But hey, that's don't ask that
Mhm.
question.
Yep.
There was I think there was a single episode about the transporter, about a
Mhm.
scientist trying to recover his son or something.
They
And
also carried that forward into Strange New Worlds with the doctor's daughter.
yeah,
He
that's
had her because she had some kind of terminal illness, and I guess I'm trying to remember
that
who the group
doctor was the
was.
same character as the character that Booker Bradshaw played in the original
I
series.
know, isn't that weird?
I'm like, why
Yeah.
is, if he's the chief medical officer, what happens to him? Does he get demoted in order for McCoy to become?
Is he
I'm
still a bartender? No, I was just kidding.
so that made no sense.
Yeah.
Like they could have. I mean, it would have been cool if they would have brought him on. You know, it's like, hey, this is a specialist, and he is an expert in Vulcan physiology and Vulcan medicine,
Mhm.
and hence why why he's the one that saves Mr. Spock from the flintlock attack in the episode
Mhm.
Private Little War. That's the Vietnam slash the
Mhm.
arms race episode where
Mhm.
the Enterprise is I think arming the village people, and the Klingons are arming the mountain people, the hill people.
Mhm.
And so they're trying to keep that that power balance on the planet.
Mhm.
Um but that's where the character came from. And then I think he showed up one more time in season 3, um, trying to explain to Spock, like, the Lee Merriweather makes an appearance in the 3rd season
Mhm.
of the original series. She plays this hologram that that just will touch you in the shoulder and kill you.
Mhm.
It's like, I come for you, April of the
And
Sci-Fi
yeah,
Mombie, and then she'll try to
yeah.
grab you, and you have to have your friends block her.
My granddad is the one that got me started on Star Trek, and he goes, I love Batman too. And when I saw Catwoman killing people, I'm like, what? What? And then I watched both of them. Oh, so
Not just one Catwoman. There was 2 Catwoman.
is that
Julie
right?
Newmar was
Mm-hmm.
the Friday was in the Friday's Child episode,
Yep, she was.
and she was the one that gets smacked by McCoy, by the gentleman
Yep.
McCoy. She gets it's the only time he smacks her in the face.
Mm-hmm.
Get her to listen. To get her to listen.
Yep.
So, um, but yeah, I like I said, I gave that show a chance. They had a prime opportunity to make it in line with the original series. Get actors, bring all the characters back, and then bring some of the characters from like Where No Man's Gone Before and introduce them, like the character Alden, the original communications
Mm-hmm.
officer. So,
I think
but
to me, and I heard Kurtzman talk about this. He was like, I was trying to make right what they did to Majel Barrett by not letting her continue on as the first officer. And I'm going, yeah, but why? It's like they watched it as kids and then they wrote down their own little list of what they wanted to change when they got into the business.
yeah,
And now they're changing it. And we're all going, no, man, what were you thinking? I
from what?
love Rebecca Romaine. Don't get me wrong. She is absolutely perfect
Oh
in that
yeah,
role.
yeah,
Absolutely. She looks exactly like Majel. I mean, dead on.
yeah.
And I love the way that they've enhanced her character, but I have to remind myself it's not canon. So
Okay, all right. I always thought that, like, I don't know if I've ever heard them say that. So if yeah, if you say it's not canon, that makes it a lot better for me. I will not watch it though. I will
I
not
believe
watch it
Terry
though.
Metalis is the one that said it. I
Oh, did
believe
he?
I may be quoting the wrong person, but I believe he's the one that said it.
Oh, Terry
I know.
Metalis.
I know a lot of people have different
Terry
opinions about
Metalis
him.
turned the Borg cube into the Death Star, and he turned the Enterprise D into the Millennium Falcon
Yeah.
at the end.
Yeah.
I have issues with that 3rd season, but
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah.
there I liked there was the one episode with Ro that was the one that actually I thought was the best acted. I felt
Mhm.
Patrick Stewart was no longer weak old man Picard, and he was basically Captain Picard again,
Mhm.
with his strong performance, with Michelle Forbes.
Mhm.
Her death was stupid though, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
It
like
was.
it
It was
it
unnecessary.
was, yeah, it was just like like there was not enough thought went into into writing that. But I liked that when I liked that initial conversation. I thought that scene was really powerful, and it was an
Mhm.
interesting. It was
It,
an
it made
interest.
me it made me think about how they interacted, when they were what was it, Rascals? That episode Rascals from TNG, where Picard and Ro were the kids again,
Yeah,
and he was always trying to give her advice, and then even after they became adults again, he was still trying to help her with that advice until she left the ship.
yeah. And then she shows up, and then that was and then they that was the episode where he sends her off to do a mission, to spy on the Maquis,
Hmm.
and she joins the Maquis, and that's the last
Yeah,
we see of her. And
that backfired
I
epically.
was, honestly, like, she wanted to be like I think a movie actress, and that her career didn't really pan out the way she expected. I'm surprised they didn't bring her back for Deep Space Nine, with especially
Yeah,
all the Michael Eddington episodes.
she would fit
Since
in real well on Deep Space Nine, I think.
yeah, I mean, she was originally supposed to be the first officer, but she said no, and then they created the Kara Nerys instead.
Hmm.
But it would have been interesting to see her and her and Eddington together,
Hmm.
evading Cisco, and and then both Eddington would die, in the final Dominion assault on
Hmm.
them, and she would survive and go to prison, unfortunately. And
Hmm.
but I thought I thought they should I thought they should have brought her back at least for one episode
Hmm.
to kind
And
of.
so, an interesting kind of segue is Nana Visitor was supposed to be on the Orville, and that was the Bortus porn episode in season 2.
Oh, that one.
Um,
Oh, the one. Oh,
uh-huh. She was
oh.
supposed to be the premier of the group that they found on the dissolving planet.
Mhm.
And you could kind of see that actress that played the role, you could kind of see Nana in the writing. I think that's what Seth was doing, was writing,
That was the one
they were
they had to
friends.
evacuate those people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Oh, I
she was
remember
supposed to
that.
play the
That was a
president,
wild.
yeah, or the
That was a crazy.
premier or whatever they called her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
yeah.
was
That
supposed to
was
be her role, and she had other obligations, so she couldn't do it.
okay.
So bring her back. We've all been saying, because Adriana Palicki doesn't know if she's coming back. Honestly, I think she's at the point where she's made up her mind, but a lot of us feel that way. So what we've been hypothesizing is, hey Seth, why don't you bring in different Star Trek, Babylon 5, Stargate actors and have them all like, who wants to be your first officer? Like, have Nana Visitor come in for 2 weeks.
Mhm.
Have um oh God, I can't figure Amanda from Stargate. Have her come in. Have just several different Star Trek actors that haven't been on yet. Have them come in and sit for a couple weeks as the first officer. Okay, are you a part of the Orville board on Facebook?
No.
Okay. There is like a pipe dream. I call it a wet dream. Those guys, it's mostly guys too, which is frustrating. But anyways, they want Halston Sage back. And they want her to come back
Oh,
as a
okay.
human. And they want her to be the first officer. And I'm going, guys, no, let's write new characters. No. It's like
So she
Annie
wouldn't be.
Winters.
So she wouldn't be a Lara though. She'd be a
She would not be
human.
Alara. She'd be a different character. Yeah.
The fact that she came back in that finale, it felt even more final, in my opinion. So sorry.
So Annie Winters was also at Dragon Con with Peter Macon, and she said, "Well,
she
Seth
played
told
Charlie,
me,
right? She's the
yeah."
one who played Charlie.
She goes, she told everybody in the forum, "Yeah, well, Seth told me I'm coming back as Charlie." I'm like, "What? You're dead.
You're dead.
You're dead, Jim. They're all dead."
Yeah.
And then that lit up the group over on Facebook. And I'm like, guys, come on. I mean, she's not my favorite Orville character.
I don't think she's anybody's favorite. I don't.
Well, there are people that say, "Well, she grew on me, and I kind of like her now." And I'm like, I don't like her at all.
Yeah, like when we were watching, when I was doing because I wasn't working then. When the show was first being dropped, I would do after shows, and none of us liked her character. She just got less and less likable every episode. So, and then all of a sudden, they killed her, and now she's the hero and everything. So,
yeah.
Oh well. Charlie wanted to join her. Wanted to join her girlfriend.
That's great that Annie is a Emmy winner, but it just felt like she was out of place.
Was she
with the cast?
Was she involved with a certain Seth? Is that why
maybe
she might have gotten that job?
Yeah.
Which is also the reason why Halston Sage left, because she was no longer
there's another
involved with Seth.
Yeah, they broke up, but then she got the role on Prodigal Son. Oh. And they needed her on set more.
Prodigal as Paisley. Son.
Yeah. That is such a great Fox show. It's got Michael Sheen and what is that guy's name? And then Halston Sage played the prodigal son's sister, Michael Sheen's daughter. Michael Sheen is a serial killer. Yeah. And unfortunately, his son has to use dad's knowledge to try to solve crime.
Oh, so is he
Lou Diamond Phillips is also on that show.
So is he hunting his father, or is his father?
No, his father's locked up. His father got caught.
So his father's basically Hannibal Lecter type of character.
He works for the FBI, and he's trying, or is it local PD? They're trying to solve murder cases, and he goes and asks his dad for advice.
All right.
It's a really good show.
That reminds me. Everyone says you have to watch Hannibal. Now I'm thinking of Hannibal Lecter.
Oh,
the Hannibal show with Lashif. I forget his actor's name.
Yeah, I get that one floated to me a lot, just like Chucky. And I'm like,
I heard Chucky can be boring.
Yeah,
kind of like this new Alien show. Like
which one?
This new Alien show that just came out. It's called Alien Earth that they're doing right now.
Oh God, I love the Alien Predator franchise. That is like one of my jams. I like sci-fi horror. That's fine with me. It's just straight horror. Like I cannot do Saw ever again.
Oh, Saw. Oh,
no.
Yeah, that's torture porn.
Right now, every Halloween we do It's Your Turn to Scream with Sci-Fi Mombie, because my co-host Vic and we have a love of Scream. Okay. And that's what we started with. We started reviewing the movies, and I'm like, you know what? I could do watch parties. So he and I started Saw, and he got to the fourth movie and he said, Mom, I can't do it anymore. He says, I'm sorry, I'm out. I watched all of them every week, all of them. I'm like, okay, no more.
My friend and I, we saw the first Saw movie when it first came out. We were both in college. We started college around that time. I remember the whole audience screamed when what's his name, Dr. Gordon / Carrie Elwes takes the saw and just starts sawing his leg off so he can get my friend and I are laughing. We kept our eyes open. Everybody else closed their eyes, and we're screaming and squealing and all that.
And in my mind, I'm going, no, don't let Wesley cut his foot off. Don't let him do it.
And then several movies later, we find out he's not only survives, but he's like one of the bad guys too.
Yeah, that was, oh God, that was crazy. And he's even talking about coming back from war, and I'm going, what? How are they going to fit you in now? I thought you were dead.
And then there's more films or something that they made that I didn't even bother watching. So
James Wan is a great horror director, but man, Saw just goes too far. It just goes
yeah,
too far.
him and Lee Wanell, right? Didn't
Mhm.
what else have they done together? Didn't they do like other horror together?
There's a
Besides,
lot of they're a part of the Bloomhouse
yeah,
studios, so they've done a lot of stuff together. My favorite of James Wan is The Conjuring. I like
okay,
the Conjuring universe
that's what it
also.
is.
Yeah.
Okay, isn't that the Conjuring? Is that the one with the kid from like Iron Man 3 or something? Same kid, and then I forget the who plays the dad. The dad's dad. I forget who plays the dad in that one.
Um, I'm not sure. I know it was it starts out with a family of 7 that they move into a house, and there's like a evil spirit demon that attaches to all of them, and that's why
Yeah.
the Warrens have to come out and try to help them.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I've been
Worship
meaning
porn.
to.
Yeah, that's what it really is.
Yeah, I've been meaning to do the. I've been meaning to do the. I've been meaning to do my series I do every fall is I call it it's called Serial Horror Chat.
Mhm.
I have like an evil monologue that like you know how like Tales of the Dark Side begins.
Mhm.
You have this
Oh God, I
evil
love Tales
creepy
from the Dark Side.
monologue.
Yes, Ron Livingston. That's right.
Ron
Mhm.
Livingston. Okay. Um,
Oh God, I love Tales from the Dark Side. I love the Twilight Zone. I love that kind of psychological sci-fi that messes with your brain. I like it.
yeah. The episode or the one with the what was it the movie I think the original Twilight Zone movie was pretty
And to know the backstory of
scary.
that movie, when you watch it, it
I
makes you
know.
sad that Robert Zemeckis, that happened on the set. You're going, oh my God. But my favorite Twilight Zone episode will always be Shatner on the plane with the gremlin.
Yeah, and then the movie version they did the John Lithgow
Mhm.
was the Shatner
Yeah,
character. Yeah,
yeah, that was really good.
that's the oh the one with Dan Aykroyd. You want to see something scary?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Aykroyd is so awesome. I love Ghostbusters, man.
yeah.
He's got so many great movies. I love Trading Places. That one's hilarious.
Yeah, I learned what the stock market was, and
Mhm.
I learned what commodities were, and yeah,
I
and
remember asking my dad, I'm like, they trade orange juice? He's like, yep. I thought it was so dumb when I watched that movie with my parents. I was like, good God.
and then of course I never I didn't I laughed really hard when I saw Coming to America.
Oh God,
He throws down like his jewelry or something, and they're like Mortimer, we're back. And it was the same two actors. It was Ralph Bellamy
yeah,
and Don Amici.
yeah, great actors. But
Um,
I mean, my going back to Star Trek for a second, my favorite Star Trek movie, because I didn't get a chance to tell you at the beginning, will always be Wrath of Khan, because that's the one that my grandfather, when I spent all the time in the world with my grandparents, he would sit me in front of the TV, and it was always on HBO when I was 5 or 6, and we'd sit there and watch it. And he's like, my granddad would go, "Do not believe the ending of this movie. Spock is not dead." I'll never forget him saying it.
as long as we remember him.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's my I think I give Wrath of Khan's my number one movie of all time.
Oh God, I love it. Yeah. And then
Like
Spaceballs is my number 2.
everybody got
I'm
that?
so
Her
excited for the
Spaceballs
second
is her number
movie.
two.
I'm so ready. And I heard John Candy's son's going to make a cameo in it.
Okay. That reminds me. I think they came out with a John Candy documentary that his
Yes.
son helped produce. I
Yeah.
kind of
Ryan
wanted.
Reynolds, and who is the other Canadian that produced it with him? Yeah. It looks so good.
I don't know if it's out. I might have to go. I might have to go find it right after this now. Because I heard about this like a couple weeks ago.
I'm
So
trying to remember if it's on Netflix or if it's on Prime Video. I'm thinking it was Prime Video.
I think it's Prime Video as well.
Mhm.
I'll have to double check. But yeah, like yeah, John Candy. I was telling my buddy this. John Candy was like the first time I learned what a heart attack was. Now
Yeah.
I've heard I like a heart attack can be fatal. First time I ever heard the term heart attack was in the Ninja Turtles movie. Like, oh, you're going to give me a heart attack.
Mhm.
And then I find out in the newspaper. My parents bought the Tribune or the Sun Times, and then there was an article. My parents showed me the article that John Candy had died. I
Mhm.
was 9, and I knew who he was because I grew up with. There was the animated show that was on every morning called Camp Candy
Mhm.
that he did. And of course, I saw Home Alone. I saw The Great Outdoors, and there was a few other movies he did. I don't know if I saw Uncle Buck then, but I knew who John Candy was. So yeah, so like he was one of the earliest actors I remember, feeling bad that was gone and all that. So
Mhm. Yeah, he's one of those actors that I watched him on SCTV as a kid because it was on Nick at Night when I was I was latchkey kid, so my parents worked all the time, so I was
same,
just watching Nick at Night, and
yeah.
SCTV was on. Um, I'll never forget him in National Lampoons. Oh my God, where he's the park security dude.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, that's
oh.
right. Yeah, yeah, that's right. And I think they're pointing the water pistol at him,
Yeah.
but he doesn't know it's the water pistol. Yeah.
He's like, I don't think that's a real water pistol. You want to find out?
You want to find out? And then they force him to go on all the rides, and
Mhm.
he's like, I'm not used to this. So yeah, it was I yeah. So I love John Candy. John Candy's great at everything he's done. So
Yeah.
so we're about at that time. So
Mhm. We
yeah,
could
I'm
talk for
gonna
6 hours like Stony Girl and I did
yeah.
about sci-fi.
Oh, I really I want to do this. I want to do this again. I really enjoyed
Okay.
the conversation. There's plenty more to talk about. I want to watch some more sci-fi shows and talk, especially X Files. Now that I know that you're a
Yes,
big
please
X
do.
Files person, I kind of want to watch the X Files, and I'd love to talk to you about the X Files in the future.
And watch
Especially
Alien Earth. It's really good. It takes
okay,
place right before Alien. And you're going, oh my God, I can't believe they brought these things to Earth. So
okay, all right. I'll keep that in mind. Is there anything you want to promote before we go? Your channel? Anything you're
tomorrow.
going?
Oh,
Sorry.
go ahead.
Oh, anything you wanted to promote on your channel? Sorry.
Well, Saturday nights is the Sci-Fi Movie Studio. We begin, Connie Cleary and I, with the Muppets. We're watching the Dark Crystal TV series on Netflix for It's Your Turn to Scream. And then we also do Star Trek, the original series, Saturday nights. And last week I showed the Menagerie.
Oh,
And
Menagerie. Okay.
yep. And
Malachi Throne
mhm, yep,
and
that
of
was
course
good.
it was basically 3/4 of the cage,
Yep.
all the color
I know. It
portion.
was like, what is this, a rehash episode? But no, it made sense. Um,
It was called The Envelope for a reason. They needed
mhm,
scripts, and they managed to get 2 scripts out of that.
yeah. And so it's me, JRC99US, and Connie Cleary. We sit there and watch Star Trek and we talk about it. And it's kind of like a Mystery Science Theater 3000 atmosphere where we kind of joke around about the cheesiness. But we love Star Trek. So
So do I. So do
yeah.
I. It's
But
such a
there's
wonderful thing.
all kinds of stuff going on at Sci-Fi Mombie. Like I said, right now it's your turn to scream with Sci-Fi Mombie, and I've got a bunch of movies coming up, including Scream. I showed Invasion of the Body Snatchers tonight, the original.
Oh, not the Leonard Nimoy one, not the Donald Sutherland one.
1956, Kevin McCarthy one. Yep.
I have not seen that one. I've only seen the 1978 one.
Yep. So it's
1978 one
on.
is messed up.
If you get a subscription to MGM Plus, you can watch it there.
Okay.
That's where I found it. But yeah, I'm going to show like The Mummy, even the Brendan Fraser one. That's really my favorite.
I like the Brendan Fraser one. That's a great one.
What else am I showing? Where are my notes? Hold on. like I showed The Conjuring, I showed Pitch Black. This next week we've got The Blob, Aliens, Evil Dead 2. I finally watched Evil Dead after all these years. Oh my God. Okay.
It's violent.
Yeah.
You'd be
Sinners.
surprised at what you could live through.
Yeah. War of the Worlds. All the really good stuff we love. That's, you know, sci-fi horror. Beetlejuice 2. All that's coming up. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Everybody, subscribe to Sci-Fi Mombie right here. Thank you, Dempsey, for putting the link there. So, for me, next chillporeal will be on Wednesday. I'm gonna have Nerdy Neo on. We're gonna talk Metroidvanias, and a few other things. So stay tuned for that. That'll be on Wednesday night, and then I'm having another one on Friday with someone from the White Cloaks channel, from the White Cloaks Discord, and we'll be talking Wheel of Time and some other pop culture stuff from the 70s and 80s. Yeah, I'm reading I'm currently reading the Wheel of Time right now. And
me too.
It's a very long. That's a very long series. And I'm on book 9. I'm in the middle of book 9. So.
I'm still on book 1.
Book 1 is good. Book 1 and 2 and 3 are really good. The book 4, most of it's good. The other later books, you gotta be really into it, in my opinion. And I'm not as I didn't really like them as much, in my opinion. But that's just, we'll talk about it later. So, but yeah, so I'm doing that. And there's a few serial horrors I'm trying to lock down for next month. And yeah, that's the nerdporeal schedule so far. I actually want to make a video again. I haven't made a video in almost 2 years now, so I want to make a video again recommending something. And yeah, that's it for me. So all right, well, everybody, subscribe.
Thank you so much for having me on. It's been fun.
Well, it was great. That was a great conversation. I really enjoyed it. We got to do a part 2. So speaking of part 2, what will tie us into the next one? Like, are you actually an imposter, or, you know, is my head gonna explode? Find out next time, you know, or something like that. Like, I asked that on a cliffhanger. So
yeah, watch some X-Files and then we'll talk.
All right, everybody, stay tuned for that. So until next time, stay safe, stay happy, stay corporeal, everybody. Take care.